very good evening to you from wherever you are watching us from. My name is Ram Maguko. It's a pleasure being with you on this fine Thursday evening. This is Power Talk. It's a pleasure being with you today. Now, we want to talk about matters concerning you on this fine Thursday morning. And even as we talk about this, kindly let me know, how are you doing? How is the holiday? And even as I talk about the holidays, I want to take this time to wish you all a happy Mashujaa Day. It is the 20th of October, 2022. It is a pleasure being with you. We are coming to you live from the broadcasting house here in Nairobi, Kenya. We are also streaming live through our website, and that's at www.kbc.co.ke/y254. You can watch us on the go from wherever you are. Right here on Power Talk, it's a pleasure being with you. And of course, a repeat of this show shall be airing again. And ensure that you head over to our Facebook page and engage with us even on our Facebook platform, and catch our shows on our YouTube channel. That's at Y254 channel on YouTube, where you can be able to find all our shows. Now, even as we talk about you enjoying your holidays, there's one thing that bugs me. Many people can't enjoy their holidays because of their own families. Handling family feuds. What are you doing to solve the problems that you have with your family? Family problems can be so bad that even as we talk about Happy Mashujaa Day, there's nothing for you to be happy about. What about the sibling rivalry? How can we solve problems between brothers and brothers, or brothers and sisters, or sisters and sisters? What is it that we need to do to solve problems between parents and their children? What about couples? What about your in-laws? Let's talk about dealing with family feuds right here on Power Talk. You can be able to get the answers to your problems right here on this show. To help us in this discussion, to my far right, I'm with Pastor Humphrey Onzere. Karibu sana, Pastor.
Asante sana.
He is the senior pastor of Nairobi Dam Pentecostal Church. Yes, and next to him, I am with Zipporah Wanyeki. She is a counselor, a teacher, and a trainer. Karibu sana, Zipporah.
Asante.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you both. I know it's been a long time tukutane.
Lovely.
Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Now, even let's talk about this. Remember, the hashtag as always is Power Talk Show on Twitter. Power Talk Show on Twitter. Tag me. My handle is at Ram Aguko. That is my handle. The official station handle is at Y254 channel. What is your problem with your family? What is your family feud? What challenge are you facing? The pastor is here. A counselor is here. Awesome. Let me tell you. Kama si hawa wenye wanaweza kusaidia, basi utaenda kwa nani? Utaenda kwa nani? Ama utaenda kwa wale unajua wale ambao wanakanga zile vitu kwa makaratasi kwa posta za stima,
waganga wa kienyeji. Yes.
Waganga wa kienyeji.
Waganga, yes.
And wanapendanga kutatua shida za kiwanaume.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But thank you so much for coming. Let me start with you, Pastor Humphrey.
Yes.
When it comes to family problems, there's so many things that we can handle. But I want us to pick them one by one.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Yes, yes. One by one.
Yes, yes.
Now, getting straight to the point. How can siblings solve their rivalry where in cases where they just do not meet? They are not at par. Hawelewani. They disagree even on matters concerning land, businesses, money, relationships, everything.
Yes,
How can siblings solve their problems? Pastor Humphrey.
Maybe I would simply say, number one, every sibling should understand that the sibling, the fellow sibling, is not just a person, is somebody related to. And when we speak of relationship is two-way. It's actually a word. Yeah. But within that word, we have two kinds of concepts. Number one is relational. The relationship between, which is connectivity. And then number two is the shipment, which is actually basically to do with the transport.
Relation,
ship is actually transportation, which means every relationship has something to add upon or probably take out from. So whoever you have around you, you are either adding value to the same or taking something from the person. And therefore, every sibling should be able to come to the platform of understanding. These are the first people they began with. So it's not something that is coming out from nowhere.
Understand that this is your blood.
This is your blood. You began from somewhere. So there's so much you've taken from the person, even before they come to the knowledge of understanding that we are somebody, or I own this, or I have that. They should be able to understand they related first. And out of the relationship, there are concepts of transportation that have happened. There are things that they've taken from. Maybe they should come to the simplicity of the same by looking at, before I knew how to walk, this is the person who held my hand to walk with. And then they should come to that level of understanding. Before I knew how to eat well, this is the person who ate together with me on the same table. And therefore, before they close the door of transportation, they should understand that this is something that is coming a long way, and we have a long way also to go.
Does age matter? Because siblings are of different ages. That we have the firstborns, wala katikati, now the lastborns. Does it matter when it comes to solving these problems between siblings?
Of course, because when people grow up, they tend to definitely come to independency, and on the level of independence, everybody begins to look at, I think I own this and I have that, and most of the time, those are the beginning points of rivalism.
All right,
Yes,
all right.
yes, yes.
Let me come to you,
Yes.
Pastor Zipporah.
Yes, Pastor Reverend Zipporah. Yeah, we
give me
call
that
her Reverend
anointing,
Zipporah.
Tukupatia anointing.
Yes.
Reverend, kasisi.
Apostle.
Yes,
Sibling rivalry.
Yes.
How can it be solved? As coming from a counselor's point of view.
From a counselor's point of view. Thank you, Ram. I want to add to what actually Pastor has said. He has put it very well. This is all about relationship. Now, did you know that there's something we call the birth order theory?
yes, yes.
Birth order theory is what is explaining to us how a firstborn, and Ram, after this, you should tell us, are you a firstborn,
Yes.
middle,
Mimi.
Yes,
chini?
yes.
Okay,
We should be
I
able
can
to analyze you and know that.
I can comfortably.
Because you can almost tell where you lie.
You can tell where I lie.
Yes,
We
yes,
are
yes.
almost guessing, but
Yes,
let
we
us
are
not
guessing.
preempt.
Can I give you time to guess? Ebu guess, Nick. Mimi ni wangapi?
I don't know why you look like a firstborn. Now, there's something interesting about firstborns, by the way.
I am a firstborn.
Awesome.
Yes, yes, yes.
You're right. I am a firstborn in a family.
Awesome, a prophecy there. So firstborns, because they came while the parents were, new.
Yeah.
They had read all the theories in life
Yes.
about parenting.
Yes.
They attended all the classes and everything. So you find that they are so cautious. They have books to look
Too
at.
careful
They're
for life,
too
yes.
careful. They're too strict with parenting. So these children, they tend to be very organized. They're very responsible.
Thank you.
All the responsibilities are given to them.
Yeah.
They act as deputy parents. They deputize the parent. In the absence
yes.
of the mother or the father, they are the ones giving orders. So they order everyone all around.
Yeah, yeah.
So these children, they tend to be neat. They know how things should be done. So they are just there, organized, neat, giving a lot of orders around. They order you around. After you come to that, the parent gets the second one. Now they meet the children. When we are analyzing personality and thereof after, you'll notice that these children who are born at the middle, they have a personality of feeling like stubbornness.
Yes.
A bit stubborn. Kwa nini hujatuma fulani ni mimi
Yes.
tu natuma
Mbona ni
maji?
mimi tu?
Ni kwa nini unashinda tu nikinituma? So these children, they tend to compare themselves. They found the mother where the mother has seen it all, so they do not care much. Somebody was making fun of it that the firstborn, when you're bringing a firstborn, when you drop a toy, they take it, they dip it inside some distilled water before they can give it. Secondborn, akitupa unaifanya hivi unampatia, germs are aware.
Na hao ndo wasumbufu sana.
So these children, they tend to compare themselves with others. They are a bit stubborn. You come to the last lot. We call them the last bones. Now that is where the tire hits the road. The last bones are children that are funny because, one, they are fun-loving. They found their parents, unajua, you've backed at the firstborn, at the secondborn, you have no energy left as a parent to back at these ones. So in terms of ni simba ameng'olewa meno, so vita wameona wale wa kwanza, huyu wa mwisho huwa achapwi sana.
Hatapata vita sana.
Hapana.
Hatachapwa.
Yes. And these children, because everything ni ya mtoto. Musiguze hiyo keki ni ya mtoto. Matunda ni ya mtoto. They have a sense of ownership. They can be very stingy. Husbands can be very, very stingy. So you always find that there's rivalry between these children. So how can we help solve this rivalry? Number one, maybe we shall talk to the parents and tell them, number one, treat children equally.
Yes, that's
So Ram, if you're my father and my parent, and you find that pastor here is the firstborn and he drives a V8, and he's bringing you 100K. For your upkeep, and some nice shopping there, and I'm here just struggling around, hustling around. People are blessed differently, so treat us equally. Nikikuletea sukari kilo moja, kubali.
The parent will end up loving the child,
the one who is giving a lot,
that brings to the house more.
Yes. So as a parent, when they come for parenting, we tell them, number one, treat children equally. These kids, they have a way of identifying that Uyu is favored and not me.
Because now, if
I like that.
you love that, right? Because if the child has recognized or realized that kuna mapendeleo, it will bring problems between.
And they fight a lot. They fight a lot. They know you should one of the things that we're handling today, and I'm sure, Pastor, you have seen it probably in your church perspective. You find that children are rivalry at mom is unwell, mama takana nani. So who is going to be with mom? So the firstborn says, apana akae nyumbani tumsaidie from home. The other one feels like, oh, he should come to my place because I've built a nice house. So there's that kind of rivalry. So treat these children equally. Let them know that they hold equal powers in that house.
Wow.
So avoid favoritism. That is number one.
So even as we proceed, there is something that I want to highlight here. And I know, Pastor, you can, I don't know if you've seen this, but I'm sure you've all noticed it. Parents have their favorites. Tuseme tu kweli, hata kama wasema treat them equally, wapende sawa, lakini Pastor, you have children. I'm not saying that you tell us who your favorite is, but do you have favorites?
I would say, to be sincere,
yes.
Favorism comes simply because of the responsibility. The responsibility.
No, Pastor, do you have a favorite?
Of course. The child who responds more tends to be given a prior opportunity for love, affection, and stuff like that. But you see, the responsibility of a parent should not be only because of the child. It should be because of the parent. It should be on the platform of the parent.
All right.
So being a parent should in itself be a significance, and should in itself be a force and a power. That I am loving them not because they respond to me. I'm loving them because they are my children. That's a big thing.
All right. Now, you are going to number two.
Yeah, I was actually finishing on that. I was telling them, number one, after you avoid favoritism, avoid comparing. Children cannot be compared.
Yes.
In terms of their IQ, I mean, people are so different. So very different. So avoid comparing, because that is actually number one cause of conflict. You know, they may not talk in public, but when they come for a counseling session, they say something like, you know, my mom wants me to be the perfect child. I mean, Ram, even your own children, you don't give birth to your own. Are we together? We are not bringing up small rams. Children are unique. They may carry your
especially in their own way.
Yes. So the fact that you did not like music does not mean that you cannot produce a DJ in your house. You can, because they're very different. So avoid comparing these children, even with others. At you unaona nyinyi hapa, so somebody's neighbor got a name, na unaniletea hapa D+ hapa. That child, what have you done?
Why can't you be like the son of?
Yes.
The son of so and so.
Yes.
That one kills.
And they feel like,
Yes.
why don't you take him to become your own son? Silently, that's how they are thinking. So do not compare them.
Do you feel like parents have a very big influence on whether siblings can hate each other or not? Pastor?
Yeah, of course. I would say, number one, the parent should be able to understand. It is not really about what they give to the children, but it's actually what they deposit in the children. The reason why I say that is because a child is only as strong as the deposits made within the same child. So if you give less deposits and only do the provision of the same around, the provision of what you own, what you have, what you can see, what you can compare with, what you can see over there and there, you might not be able to empower the child to stand strong. So those children are only dependent on the value that is deposited within the band. Wow. That's why the parent is becoming more responsible on that value.
Let me shift gears from the other side now, where we have siblings that don't have parents. Now, Mekosana, how do they solve it now? Because now we're talking about, oh, parents don't do this, parents don't do that. What about siblings that have been orphaned?
Yes, yes.
There is no parent. How do they solve it?
I still feel like even if they don't have parents, not unless maybe they became orphaned while they are adults, while they were still young, there must have been somebody who came in as a custodian in the name of an uncle, an auntie, or even in a children's home, wherever they were, there's someone who is directly responsible.
So the responsibility of building a relationship between these siblings lies on the guardian.
The person who is there taking care of them.
And that's
Should
why
be the
we
one.
talked about relationship. Who is this person around the children? Who is this person? Because
Now, let's bring it up a bit. Let's take it up a notch. Let's talk about adults. Siblings, adults. For example, an adult who is 40 and another who is 40 and their siblings. Watu wakubwa wako na watoto lakini hawaelewani. Hawaelewani. Hata sasa hizi tunaongea kuhusu mashujaa day. Tunasema kuhusu nani shujaa kwa familia. Sema wewe si shujaa bwana.
Sure. Ram, can I tell you?
Yeah.
When we are doing couple counseling, there's something we tell them. We tell them this. If you yourself, because I believe in this world, no conflict cannot be resolved.
Exactly.
Believe me, you.
No
Irrespective
conflict.
of whether it was a case of infidelity, it can still be resolved unless there's a third party interference. So we tell these people, the reason why you two are not able to solve, probably there's an element we call pride.
pride of life.
Pride.
So when
Pride
sibling-
ni kukataa kushuka. Because if one of them agrees, and that's why we say, no two people, you know, the husband is the head, and then we have the neck. There's no way two people can be the head. One has to go down. So wamekataa kushuka, and that is why you bloated ego is up there. The wife's bloated ego is up there. So they come to you running and saying something like, he doesn't respect me, he doesn't love me. So you wonder, where was it supposed to end? You respect this one loves you. So one is not playing their role right. So when these two siblings who are 40-year-old, probably they have their own kids, and they cannot sit and settle on how to solve the land issue, pride comes in. So unless they sit down, probably go to a therapist or a third party who is neutral, sit them down and tell them, hii mali ilikuwa ya wazazi, tunafaa kuigawa hivi na hivi na hivi. So do you agree that? And that is why you see nowadays parents are writing their will early. While they're still living, mzee anaandika so that anajua huyu ni sumu.
Umeshaona huyu mtoto
Nikifunga
huyu
macho huyu will terrorize the rest. Exactly. So
Yes, Pastor.
Because at that level, when you realize the child is too selfish,
yeah.
they are not able to bow, they are not able to give room for others, then definitely there's something about pride, like she
Pride.
said. Yes, yes. And therefore, the only way to resolve it is probably you either give it time so that the time can be able to define by maybe bringing out consequences of the same.
Sure.
Yeah, when they realize that we needed to do stuff and now we cannot be able to do stuff, and other families that are united are doing better, they're doing much better than us, then they realize, okay, simply the reason to why these other families are prospering and they're doing better is because for us, we never borrowed this picture of life and we never came together to sit down and talk. So the consequences of life can cause them to come to a place and say, surely we have no otherwise. We gotta sit down and talk. And at that level of talking, they begin to address the real issue. The only problem will be they will be late in time when it comes to time. Some of the people who are supposed to help and nurse up and bring out, you would realize that now these people are have delayed to enjoy the fruits that are supposed to come by the same, simply because they delayed to put down the pictures that were supposed to be drawn.
Wow. What about in scenarios where, and then we'll move to another example here, scenarios where siblings have conflict, and this conflict is not because of land or money, it's just conflict based on character.
Yes.
We've seen families where a sibling can say, my sister is a con woman.
I can't even talk.
We need con man. How do you solve that?
By the end of the day, we sit down and say something like this. When we teach people about personality, there are things you can change, and there are those things that you cannot change. So those that you cannot change, you can only adjust, so that you're able to accommodate. So if you know, in any relationship, there's a sober person. There must be one sober person out of all. So you find that if you are the one. So if you find that you're the sober person, and you understand your sister is a con, or she's the jealous type, or she's the one who is a gossiper,
or
she's dramatic, a drama queen, can dramatize anything from Gikomba to where. So you have to sit down and readjust and understand her. You can live with anyone, including a mad person, if only you're able to understand that this is what provokes their madness. So you readjust yourself.
Why can't their madness be helped?
Okay, you will take somebody to a therapist, for example, yeah? Because I know once we are done with all these things, we always recommend that take this person to a therapist. But by the end of the day, we say that it is one thing to take a cow to a river, but it is another thing for that cow to drink that water. So you can take somebody to a therapist. Si hata pastor ako hapa anajua kwamba ukitana altar call watu wakuja hapo. You may not force salvation to them, literally. Yeah? So if somebody was not willing to change, akona hiyo pride, akona hiyo hataki kubadilisha, because change must come from you. Yeah. So if it doesn't,
Pastor, men of God always advise this, and they say, Pastor, I have a problem with my sister, my brother, we have a problem, we're not agreeing, blah, blah, blah. You explain, etc., etc., etc. The pastor says, pray for them. This problem that you're having with your sibling is a problem of character. Tabia yao, utu. Yeah. Your blood, even though you come from the same father, or even if you're siblings from step families, but you just don't agree. That aspect of pray for them, how far should it go? And does it apply in this case here? How does it solve siblings?
You see, prayer is a good way of handling it. Number one, simply because we are making the relationship, because everybody has a three-package kind of relationship with the maker, who is God, and then relationship with of course the family, and then we are talking about relationship with yourself. So you see, prayer helps in one way or another that we can be directive to God and rely on God for help. And then you come to prayer also that you could be able to be relational with yourself. Because if you can't be relational with yourself, nobody can help you.
Now, in this case, do you pray for them to change, or do you pray for yourself to accommodate them?
You also pray for yourself to accommodate the change that is needed. Because if that change cannot be accommodated, there's no way change will be received.
And if they refuse to go for counseling, there is no way counseling will help.
Exactly. The whole idea is let somebody, first of all, actually changes from within.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I want us to shift gears quickly. There's so many things we have not yet covered. When it comes to family feuds, there's one angle here that I want to bring on point. Feuds between parents and their children. There are so many parents watching today, and so many young people watching today that do not have a good relationship with their parents. They just walikosana vibaya, and some of them walipeleka wazazi Geshagi nyumbani ushago huko, wakasema wakae huko, and they don't even call parents. You know, that relationship between that son and the father, the daughter and the mother, or the daughter and the father, it is not there. How can we solve this in a nutshell. Let me start with you, Zipporah.
Let me say this, that there are many causes of sibling-parent rivalry. The parent is not understanding the child and vice versa.
Yes.
But one of the main problems, because you have to know the problem for you to diagnose what you're supposed to help these people, find out that these people, we are living in different generation. The generation that was before us is not the generation that we have now. So most parents want to treat their children and want them to behave like the way they were brought up. So if you're brought up in shags, wearing a certain way, talking a certain way, you want these people to also follow that. Times have changed. So the moment that crops in, that is when these children start thinking, hey, Buddha ni mshamba, and the sheng is changing every single day. Yeah. So how do you help these people? One, try and understand. Don't judge. Do not be judgmental. When it comes to parenting, hakuna kitu ram hushusha watu kama parenting. You think you know all the theories, but when it comes to parenting, inakuleta pale chini. You realize hujui. Unajua hujui. You know nothing, because these people, they are more, you were brought up by the time technology was not much. So hata simu yako kuinavigate, probably you know the basic things. This child can navigate your phone more than you can do. It can be able to earn through TikTok and whatever and whatever. And so you come and tell them, no, I don't like this. Mimi nisione na simu huku. Okay, you can put a limitation, but you cannot entirely come and block everything in that house. If you do, mutakosana.
Yes. And you see, just to add on that, at least the 3 seasons of life are very important. There are these seasons when the parent is in charge of the child.
Sure.
Will take the child to the Sunday school, take the child to the school, the parent is in charge. But
the parent takes care of
the child. But they come to a season when it is the child becoming responsible to take care of himself. True. They don't ask mama want to go to church. No, they just go. Because that is they are at that level of life. But then the last part of it is more dangerous, because this is when the children are responsible for their parents.
Yes.
That's another level. And when it comes to that level, the child will tell you what they want.
Now, regardless of the level, because now it's funny, the child will tell you what they want. Okay, regardless of the level, who should go down in case of conflict between the parent and the child? Nani ashuke chini?
That's a dangerous and a difficult question. Lest we be misquoted.
I want to take a short break. That's a very dangerous question there.
Yes.
Who should go down?
Yes.
Their parents were saying, I will always be your father, even if you get married and you have children. Whatever I say, you do. That is the truth. That is a fact. So who should go down? The Bible says only your parents in the Lord.
But it does not stop us at there. It says also, do not provoke your children.
I want us to take a short break, but remember, I encourage those who are watching us online, head over to our Facebook page. We've posted a question of the day, and we're asking, how are you dealing with family conflicts from wherever you are? Talk to us. Head over to our Facebook page, but before you drop a comment on the comment section, like the page. Okay, feel free to let us know where you are watching us from. And of course, I'm also getting people sending me inboxes. I will just read them, no problem. But I prefer kama zinanga Facebook ndo tuzione zote pamoja. All right, but thank you so much for being part of this discussion. We want to take a short break. We'll be back with more right here on Power Talk. All right. Welcome back. This is Power Talk. I am Ram Maguko. If at all you're just joining us, you're just in time for the next part of this discussion here. Remember, we are talking about dealing with family feuds, family conflict. And we've asked the question on our Facebook page, how are you dealing with family conflict? Talk to us. Head over to our Facebook page, that's at y254, like the page, and then you will see a very beautiful photo of this guy and my wonderful guest here. Inakatu hivi venye unaona kwa screen. drop in your comment on the comment section. Talk to us. Timothy, let's bring those comments up, a few of them, just to sample what you guys are saying. I have, right, Willie OG. Willie anasema that I leave them kama ni vita wapigane. Then after that, we now sit down and discuss what was the cause of the conflict and how to solve it. Atuache wapigane. Tutaongea baadaye. Brian Prince anasema watching nikiwa Meru Maua. Thank you so much, Brian. This is the last prisoner. Anasema naachana nao. Naachana nao hapo wakipigana kelele, naenda na watch vile Arsenal inaendelea kunyorosha watu.
It was silent treatment.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know how. Hey, manze. Yani niulize tu swali. Yani lazima ongelesha Arsenal hapo. Is there another one, Timothy? I cannot see the other one that you're talking about. Maybe we'll let me read that. So this is on Twitter. At Forsi the Jega anasema greeting to Reverend Onzere. Pokea salamu, Reverend. Yes, anasema the greeting, negotiating is the best thing.
Yes.
Yes. By the way, negotiating is the best. This is
what I have to give.
Yeah. At Michieka Enoch, anasema negotiations are the best. That's how you deal with them.
Yeah.
This is at Clinton Ondieki. And someone tuned in to Y254. Thank you so much, Clinton. I appreciate it. God bless you, my brother. Let's continue with this with this evening discussion right here on Power Talk. And of course, we value your feedback. Keep engaging with us. All right? We proceed.
Yes.
A parent-children conflict. You said I asked a very delicate question.
That was delicate and dangerous.
And dangerous. Nani ashuke chini wakati kati ya wazazi na watoto. Let's find a way of helping these people watching today. How do you address that particular delicate issue? How delicate should this be handled? Yeah, Zipporah.
I think, as you asked earlier, as Pastor had said earlier, the 3 stages that we are talking about. One, when the parent is in charge of the child. The other one, the child, they are on their own. The other one, the children are in charge of their parents once they are aged. So, swali ya nani atashuka depends on where in life are we. We expect the children must obey their parents. That's even biblical.
Regardless of
what? Regardless of how much money, property, or whatever you own. Total respect towards the parents. But now, the same Bible continues to say, and you parents, do not provoke your children. So, Ram, I want you to picture this. You are there with your darling, you've married, and the wife is there, and your mother does not approve of the wife you've gotten. Probably she had her own that you wanted. Nani atashuka? Ni nani atashuka? So do you disown this first wife because you respect mom and the Bible says you respect? That's why I said it's a delicate question, because it will depend on the situation you've been faced with.
Very delicate.
Very delicate. Balancing.
Do you have an input on that?
Of course, I would say, or let's say the mother is sick and she needs to be attended to. And then she demands that she wants a specialist. And the child who is now responsible has no money to handle the responsibility of this specialist. The child will say, Mama, mi nakupeleka general. And there's nothing mzazi atafanya.
There's nothing.
Mzazi will have to just say, okay. Before you talk, wamekuweka kwa gari na umepelekwa general. And you have nothing to do.
Now, even as you proceed, you'll also tackle this part.
Yes.
You said because of the different stages, it depends on the stage you are
Either of
in.
them can calm down.
But now, in the first stage where you're still living under your parents' roof, go down.
Exactly.
Kabisa.
Exactly. I would say so. When you are under your parents' roof and the parents are in charge of you, that is your best platform of going down. Simply because there comes a time in life when there's a value of the seed and the value of the fruit. And interestingly, my brother, that which you handle in the first stage will determine how it will be handled in the last stage. That parent who had good love for the children and imposed love for the children, it means when the children grow up, they will also give back. They will say, surely mama spoiled us. Let us do the same.
You'll give back the love.
Yes, let's give back the love.
But as long as
Yes,
you are
sir.
under your parents'
Yes.
roof,
Sure.
shuka chini.
Sukachini.
Kabisa.
Exactly. And then when you are a parent and you now know that I'm aged and these children are now responsible over me, I think there is a time to say my generation has changed and I've got to live my generation alone and enjoy to see the new generation taking over from me. That's what that's when we call good mentorship. A mentor or a coacher has come in, because a coacher is not coming in to destroy that which was begun. A coacher is coming in to shorten the span of time, so that the person who is coming up newly will not spend more time doing the same thing just like you did when you were growing up. Yeah.
There's a question that has been sent, and of course I value your feedback. Thanks to everybody that is even contacting me on my inbox. I'm saying, is this someone's called Fernando? Is this Fernando Morgan or something? And someone, thank you so much, tuned in. There's a question here as, how do you deal with rivalry whereby siblings have partnered together against another sibling? Let's address that, Pastor.
Yes. Siblings are joining up so that they could be able to fight another sibling.
Yeah, they gang together against another
think
sibling.
At that kind of platform, we now need good parental picture to be drawn.
All right.
A good parent should come out at that level and lay a foundation and direction, be a directive to say, this is not the way I want the family to be, to live at. And then the parent should come in, because being a parent is not just because you have little ones around you. You are a parent until you die. So a parent should always be a parent to be also protective. Because if they gang up and then the parent joins up to gang up, you can imagine what will happen to the one left out. That is depression in itself. So we would actually say parents should come up strong and say, no, this is not the way we want to live, and encourage love.
Even if the person that is being ganged up on is wrong.
You see, love is bigger than the wrongdoings. That's why she mentioned something. She said we should never be judgmental. So we are not raising a platform in the family that would say you are wrong and you are bad, you are this and you are that. We are raising a platform that will always say you have something good within you that we can learn from, and opportunities to learn from.
Do you have an input before I move to? I move on?
We always say there's a psychologist who came and told us that everybody wants to be good. It is only situations that put them the way they are.
Yes.
So even that bad child you're seeing, the one that you're segregating as a family, wants to be good anyway. So you don't, by two wrongs don't make a right. So by ganging up against this person, you're not helping.
All right.
Treat this person with love.
Now, let me move to another sensitive area. I've thought about this and hey,
Tell us.
Burning the fresh.
Tell us.
How should children handle a situation where their own parents are in conflict? You see mommy and daddy physically fighting. How should a child handle that situation? Zipporah.
This is how we advise people. We advise them this. By the time you came into your parents' lives, you found them with 32 teeth. Huyu na huyu. Keep off their fights. You
Correct.
don't know they agreed how many times they'll be fighting in a day, in a month, or in a year. So do not engage in their fights. Because number one, as a Christian, you're attracting a curse. Ati kijana ameona uko na misuli, let's go and fight dad. You're attracting a curse because fighting a parent. So keep off their fights. You don't know what was their agreement.
Should you know, some children advise ona mami, unajua ufai kuhandle dadi hivi, ufai kufanya hivi, ama dadi handle mami hivi.
That's a no-go zone. I would say
no-go zone.
Yes, yes, that's a no-go zone.
Mumesikia hiyo maneno kila
Yes, that's a no-go zone. Simply because, you see what, for everybody you see and everything you see beautiful in this world, anything you see beautiful in this world have what we call a reproductive aspect of it. And every good reproduction begins with intimacy. And you are never there when these people were intimate.
Kabisa.
So please, if you want to be safe, just keep up.
Yeah.
Inaweza kuwa walikuwa intimate kwa miwa, kwa barabara,
You never know.
kwa gari ya moshi.
You are never
there.
Sure.
So just allow it to be. Yeah, allow it to be. But nevertheless, you could advise with wisdom, like, Mama, please, I don't like it when I see you fight. What would you want me to be? Or how would you want me to live my life? And Mama, how would you want my wife to treat me? And then those kind of questions are not pointing a finger, but they're demanding a responsibility.
Hey.
And to add to what Pastor is saying, by the way, Rame, you know, I'm a crusader of mental health issues.
Yes.
And one of the issues that you're facing right now, there are people, is what we call trauma.
Yes, yes.
You find that people, the way they are as adults, we can trace it back to how they were brought up.
Yes, yes.
Parenting is everything.
Yeah.
So you saw your parents fight. You're likely to initiate that
The same.
in your marriage, or you're likely to either go into your marriage with the bitterness. You know, you are this kind of person when you uko all, unajua, steamed up, unajua, akuguze tu kidogo, hawezi jaribu kufanya kile alifanyia mama yangu. Are you getting it? So in future, these people have trouble starting relationships, because they feel that fear, that anxiety. Could it end up like my mom's?
Yes, yes.
They could go there with a lot of bitterness. They could carry narcissistic attitude with
Yes,
them.
yes, yes, yes.
So parents, while you're fighting, please do it mbali na
Away,
watoto.
away
Let the
from the
children
kids.
never know that at any given point you fight. Let them think you are angels.
Don't fight in front of them.
Don't fight in front
Some
of them.
parents send children and umwambie mama yako hii.
And it's so traumatizing. Childhood trauma. Yeah?
Yes, yes.
You are destroying your
You're
child.
destroying it.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
And they'll come up with a lot of things. They manifest even in schools. You see this child is not concentrating, has a lot of anxiety, can become a bully. You know,
Yes,
they're
yes,
trying
yes.
to project a behavior, will play true and say they want to run home because they feel like if I leave my mother or if I leave my father, they'll be killed. So, you know, you can see the manner of problems you're bringing to the society
Mental
by your
health.
fight.
And,
Yeah?
and again, maybe just to add on what she's saying, many people enjoy destinies,
Yeah.
but not very many people enjoy the journey.
The
towards
process.
destiny.
The process.
Exactly, the process that makes it. So in case you have seen them fight, this is the time you can turn that around so that you can begin to enjoy the journey. Enjoying the journey means you saw them fight. You can begin to own a different responsibility in the name of now that these parents of mine fought. I think I'm going to be a different.
You can choose to forge your own path.
Exactly. Exactly.
I saw these.
I
I
saw
saw
this.
them do
Yes.
this, but I will choose not
Yes,
to.
not to do that. So you enjoy the process of change. You enjoy the process of shift.
Wow.
That becomes important.
Quickly. So we are saying young man, young lady, wakipigana, mambo ya watu wawili, achana
Never
nayo.
take sides.
Yes, yes.
You are not there.
You are not there. Hata kama ni gari ya moshi.
You are never there in the first place.
Yes.
Now, let's move. Conflicts of family. Family conflicts. In-laws.
Ooh.
Thorn in the flesh.
Tell me the fly.
Thorn in the flesh.
In-laws. Hey. The family, and in this case, I want us to tackle, because now this is a very deep one. We may not be able to handle everything here, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, but we will go as far as we can. How do you handle a problem in the case whereby a man, together with his family, do not have any solid relationship with the family of the lady?
So they have not been able to
Connect. Hawaelewani.
connect.
A man with his family, together with the lady's family. Here I'm talking about Mimi with the lady. I'm okay with my wife, but I just
But you're
don't
not
like
connecting with the
their
other family.
Together with my people, we just don't like their family, but we just love this woman.
It becomes a delicate situation.
Yeah.
Why delicate? We cannot separate you from your people. Again, you cannot separate her from her people. So this one will have to, you two come and sit together and agree that a relationship must be able to work unless there are third parties involved. So these people, the in-laws from this end and this end, are what you're calling the third party, because love is for two.
Yeah.
Any other person there, is, including the children, they are third parties.
So if you say love is
Yes.
for two, it means it doesn't matter whether I like her family or not.
Okay,
Is
we,
that what you're
we
saying?
will not say that it does not matter. You will have to struggle to like them and to make them like you.
But you
Go
said
an extra
mapenzi ni ya wawili.
Yes, but now, Ram, when your mother is unwell, God forbid she won't be unwell. So I'm taking an example. She's unwell. You are affected. What affects you affect your spouse, right?
Definitely.
So you will have to come up with strategies whereby this family, remember you don't stay with them, so you see them once in a while. Let you act in all manners possible that they like you. And you also like them, so that you will be able to solve conflict. Otherwise, what affects them affects you indirectly.
I'm seeing a scenario where a husband and a wife, utapata, the husband and the wife will stay.
They're very good.
They are okay. But now when the in-laws of the wife come home, the husband will like, I would rather take her to the hotel. Or sometimes when ikifika wakati wa kuenda ushago, there is no day that this man will go to the wife's home.
I would say on that particular note, because, you know, Rao, love is a language, and it has volumes. You can either bring it to a low volume or lift it up to a very strong volume. I would say when you realize that there's a disconnect between the in-laws and
your spouse.
and the spouse, then that is a good juncture of lifting up the volume of your love. Because when you lift the volume of your love, it does not matter what they do, they will definitely agree with, because they have no platform of interference. So they end up saying, you know what, hata kama hawa watu wako namna hivi, but wanapendana, and then they just let go.
So try see how to handle
Lift up the volume.
Lift
of
up the
love.
volume
Yeah.
of love.
Yeah.
I want us to take Facebook comments. Emma James is saying, toxic people in the family always cause you harm, emotionally, directly or indirectly. The only solution is to flee from them, avoid them, and discard them. Make you, I think she's saying, just work on your mental health. Kelgaza, the cat doctor. Majina. Wapigane kwanza, wagopane ndio tusolve.
I would say on this particular note of Emma, you know, people are not just people. People are relational. And every relationship has some values. And you cannot assume everything. But you see, at the end of the day, psychologically, we realize that the people who surround you, they kind of shape who you are. So it is true. If you, like the psychologists say, you see, if you have at least, let's say, 6 billionaires around you, you automatically, to some extent, going to be the 7th one. You see, that's a volume in itself.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can't ignore that. The people who surround you will definitely create something within you.
So even if you say wacha wapigane,
Wapigane,
it will affect you.
By
itakukula.
the end of the day,
itakuuma.
you will, as a husband, you will not enjoy a scenario whereby your wife does not connect with your mother-in-law.
Yes.
So you will have to come to the drawing board and ask yourself, why are they not connecting? What is this? Is it that her dressing code is not okay? You can maybe shift it for that day. Is it that her love? I mean, what is this that is making them disconnect?
As if I talking to dressing code. All right. Emma is saying happy Mashujaa Day. You two guys, you are real heroes. So are you, Eman. So are you. Nasema, I am a new fan watching this show from Mombasa. Wow, thank you so much.
Awesome.
On the topic, I close all doors that leads to them. avoid them totally, and your peace will return to you, especially when you're going through hell in marriage. Wow. Toxic people in the family always cause you harm emotionally. Thanks so much, Eman, for that. Watching from Mombasa. Asante sana. It's a pleasure being with you. Keep on tuning in Power Talk every Thursday, 7 p.m. My oh my.
Yes.
I'm told time is not on our side. What? Now, we need to wrap it up.
Yes.
But I want to give you each to have a final word about this topic. We've not managed to tackle the aspect of the in-laws, but I believe that's a very good place to leave it. I want to give you time to have a final word, a minute each. Talk about this particular topic, handling family conflict. Talk to those who are watching you today. Pastor Humphrey, that is your camera.
Thank you so much. I would have a word of advice for everybody who is watching right now. The first thing is this. It is the responsibility of every individual to find the things that make you happy. Those things that make you happy as a person will surely make somebody else around you happy as you grow up. Number two, you should be able to learn from your life as a person, whereby every aspect of trauma, lifestyle, the things that hurt, the things that move in your life to put you down, pin you down, they are not there to pin you down forever. You can always have a positive mindset to own the responsibility of shift over the same things. And finally, I would even say, get to a place where you are also careful about who are these people who surround you. Because the people who surround you, if you allow them in the courts of your heart, then your heart will begin to bleed the same blood that walks in them.
Thank you so much. And Pastor, still on you. You're a pastor at which church?
I pastor for Nairobi Dam Pentecostal Church.
If someone wants to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
Oh, right in Kibra. Get to Kibra at Lindy, you'll find Nairobi Dam Pentecostal Church. That's where we are.
That's understandable. All right, let me come to you, Zipporah. Final word. Talk to Kenyans watching you today. That is your camera.
Right.
Parting shot.
Thank you. Now, we want to tell people, these Kenyans, facing them right in the camera, that these conflicts, if mediation doesn't work, litigation, that issue of going to court is not working, please look for a therapist. Look for a therapist who is neutral, who can come and sit down with you, listen from both sides, and see how to help. Let us try and put down our egos and know that we are shaping a generation. So we fight, but then we don't know how much damage we are doing to our young ones, because they are observing. Children learn through observation, not through what you tell them. So let us try and negotiate and mediate and, solve our conflicts in an amicable way. If you are unable to reach out to us, we shall be able to help.
And if someone wants to get a hold of you, Zipporah, how can they do that?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel, Zipporah Wanyeki. You subscribe, hit the notification bell. You see my content there. On Facebook, I'm Zippy Wanyeki. Search me, you'll find me there. So many people come to my inbox, and we're able to help them, and I thank God for that.
Awesome.
At Twitter, I am Wanyeki1 Zipporah.
That's understandable.
Yes. Awesome. I'm also a business lady.
You said you do business.
Oh, yeah.
Which business is that?
I sell ladies stuff. We sell supplements. So we are able to help diabetic, ulcers. Where lifestyle has really changed. People are getting ulcers at 20,
well,
15.
kama uko na stress kwa nyumba, utakosa ulcers.
So we help you with supplements. So hit my inbox. I'll be able to help you with all those. Don't struggle with issues that we can be able to help.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And one thing that is important, and this is what I always say, when you have a car and you have a problem with the car, you take it back to the manufacturer.
Yes.
If you have a problem with your marriage or your relationship, God is the manufacturer.
Ultimate.
Take it back to the manufacturer.
Kabisa.
But if anything, it is not easy to solve conflict. The quote of the day, as we wrap this discussion up, keeping your family together is an extraordinary feat, especially in the face of great conflict.
Wow.
It is an extraordinary feat, especially in the face of great conflict. And as I said earlier, always go back to the manufacturer,
Amen.
to the originator.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Pastor Humphrey.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Zipporah.
Karibu
That brings us
sana.
to the end of this evening discussion right here. I am Ram Maguko. Thank you so much for everyone that to everyone that tuned in today. It has been a pleasure being with you. This is Power Talk.